It's a Rustler 36, and it is a boat that the Estonian guy, where is he? Is there. He is his boat. When he has paid.
The boat itself is a very ordinary type boat. You know, this is the sort of boat that if you were in England, you could just sail it anywhere up to Scotland, whatever you like. It's a normal, everyday type boat. They were designed before 1988, and so everything about that era prior to 1988, the hull structure was really strong as well. And they're heavy boats. They're 6,000 kilos. So they're really solid boats, and they've got a strong reputation already. They're noted for being good ocean-going boats. They're not flimsy at all.
Like looking forward to being alone. I'm going to enjoy it. I like it.
Would you miss anything?
Nothing. Seriously.
Being on my own, sailing or not on my own is not a fear for me. I'm really happy with that.
There's no missing home, no missing certain specific time like Christmas or stuff like that, because they're with me and I know that I will be back.
I reckon they're worried about it. We're human. We're not meant to be on our own for 9 months. We're sociable people, sociable animals. So, yeah.
It seems normal to eat a salad, but when you come back after 8 months at sea without any salad, I can tell you that the salad is very good.
There's a lot of sailors around the world that can relate, because we're sailing very similar to boats to what they've actually got, and they could imagine themselves in something like this if they really wanted to do it. And then you've got the general public looking at it in awe, thinking, wow, these guys and girls are in little boats for 9 months sailing non-stop around the world for that amount of time. And this is in a period where there's hundreds and hundreds of people every year climbing Mount Everest, and yet there's only a few hundred people that have ever sailed solo around the world.
First month will be difficult, and I think if we can get through the first month, I think life out there, simple life, it's like in the mountains, it's just simple life. It's about surviving. All the everyday hassles are gone, and it's just about you, and you won't get much closer to nature than being in the middle of the Southern Ocean when you've got no control over anything that it does. So I think if I can find it within myself to be able to deal with that and survive and sail well, then I think that will be one of the things I'm looking forward to, definitely.
This happened to coincide with our youngest daughter turning 18, and I taught her to drive, and I realized that I don't have any underage kids home more, so I'm free to go.
The great thing about Ireland is you get behind anything. Sort of if somebody's doing something it's a bit out there, a bit different, the whole country gathers around and goes at it. Even if winning isn't necessarily important, it's just about putting us out there, because we're only a small country, and a small proud country. So if we get the backing of the country, that'd be great.
For the first time in the whole trip, we decided to have a meal together, the whole team. Usually it's your watch, you share a meal with 4 of your group. This time, celebration time, bottle of wine, and boom, as we were celebrating, we hit a whale.
This is the longest sport event ever. I mean, after the original Golden Globe race, which was more than 10 months for Sir Robin. So people don't realize that this is a historical sport event, pretty much, because there are no longer, in duration, there are no longer competitions than this race.
My fundamental blue water sailing desire is about getting away from all of this stuff, all of this treacherous humanity that we live in every day. I just want to get away from that. That's the appeal of blue water sailing to me. But I will miss people, nevertheless.
Life is too short to just to sit at home and change TV channels.
It's a affordable budget, and I like the idea of the retro boat, because when I sailed in '73, it was a boat like that with the same kind of equipment. I said, okay, it could be how to close the circle of my life.
The dolphins are fantastic. You know, they often come when you least expect them. I've seen pods of whales and, you know, spouting sperm whales and the albatross. You know, those are the things you remember. You don't remember from the races the bad times when you got dismasted or when you lost the rudder and all the things that go wrong, and when you're cold and wet and feeling pretty miserable. You do remember those you know, great days in the Southern Ocean and some of the great sailing there, yeah.
You know, got to compete against. We don't want Eric Tabarly and those Frenchmen to rule the waves, do we? So no, I mean, look, I'm an Aussie, but you know, I was born in Manchester. I've served in the Royal Navy as well as the Royal Australian Navy. I was on HMS Endurance and HMS Alderney. I went to Drake and did my hydrographic studies. So look, I've got English blood in my veins, and Ari reckons I might even have some Viking, so who knows?
Why do you want to do this?
Yes, I have tried to answer on that sometimes, and I say it's because it's dangerous, it's expensive, it's no, I don't know.
Okay, so why really?
It's wet, it's cold. No, yeah, I really don't know why, but I love sailing. I love sail also when it's cold, and I have many times asked myself when I have been sailing in the winter time, why couldn't you be that guy that was looking at TV and in the sofa? But I'm not.
Sometimes it's not just about you, in that there will be other people in the race. If one of them gets into trouble and you're the nearest boat to them, you'll go to their rescue. How do you get your head around that? The idea that helping somebody else would at the same time put you out of the race?
Ну там не может быть никаких сомнений, это прежде всего помогать человеку, и это не зависит от того места, на котором я иду или на котором идет он.
So that angle there is actually 90 minus the altitude of the body.
And sure, there'll be a winner, and there'll be those that can sail better than others, but everyone that gets to the finish and achieves that goal of recreating Robin's journey, you know, all the way around the world with basic technology, they're the ones that are the winners, and they're the ones that will be satisfied.